It's wonderful to be here. You can either start just sitting back on your heels like I am, or you can stand up on your knees. But let's just do a little bit of movement with our neck to start. So wherever you are, with your ribs relaxed down and back, slide your ears back over your shoulders a little bit. Turn and look over your right shoulder. Feel the twist of your neck muscles. And nice and slowly turn and look over your left shoulder without turning your torso at all. Start tuning into your breath. And then bring your head back to center and drop your right ear slowly over towards your right shoulder. Notice if your chin tends to lead in front of the rest of your face, and draw it back just a little bit. Ribs still keep dropping down and relaxing back. And then bring your head up and do your left ear over to your left shoulder. Chin slides back a little bit. Soften the face, relax the jaw. And then bring your head up, and whether you're on your knees or sitting back on your heels, check if your ankles rolled one way or the other, and then drop your chin down to the center of your chest. Soften your face and move your chin a little bit. Actually, let's do with your chin down. First, turn your head. So turn your head side to side a couple times, like you're turning and looking to the right, and then turning and looking to the left. And then bring your head back to center, and with your head still dropping down, just tilt your right ear a little to your right shoulder and your left a little to your left. And it's a very small movement. Go slow. Soften the forehead. And then bring your head back to center and bring it up nice and slowly. And if you're sitting back, stand up on your knees. You can relax the tops of your feet down with your knees hip distance apart, pubic bone forward. We'll hinge back, feeling the front of the thighs, and come up nice and slowly. And hinge back from the knee joint and coming up. So it's not a sitting back. The pubic bone stays forward. Hinge back from the knee and come up, and hinge back from the knee and come up. Now we're going to do that really slowly, and we're going to do it with our neck in different positions. So knees hip distance apart, feet gently ground down, ribs relax down and back, head slides back a little, turn and look over your right shoulder and hinge back a little bit and slowly come up. Turn and look over your left shoulder and hinge back and come up. Head back to center, right ear over to right shoulder, chin back a little bit, hinge back from the knee joint and slowly come up, and left ear to left shoulder and hinge back from the knee joint and slowly come up. And then drop your chin down to the center of the chest and hinge back and hold. Feel the front of the thighs and slowly come up and let your head come up. And then we'll come onto our back. Already just a few minutes of movement and my body already feels better. So keep that in mind with yourself if you're ready, like, ooh, that already felt better, just to do a little bit here and there throughout the day. Once you come onto your back, feel free to put something under your head, especially if you know you tend to be a little bit of a rib thruster, and then grab your strap and wrap it around the ball of your right foot and extend your left leg long. And then we're going to do something similar to what we did last week, where we do different heights. So we're going to lower the foot down, so it's maybe just like a foot over the other foot. Your ankle is in line with your outer right hip. But this time, pull back on your foot, take a breath, try to relax your thigh as much as possible. And then slowly rotate your thigh bone one way. Pause, extend a little more, relax a little more. And then rotate your thigh bone the other way. And extend, pause, try to relax a little. Right away, when I go in that direction, I feel some grabbing on the top of my thigh, so I'm just trying to soften a little bit. and then come back to center and lift your leg just a foot higher. Pull back on the ball of the foot. Check in with the ribs. Are they thrusting up? Relax them down. Check in with the pelvis. Tilt it down. And then rotate that thigh bone all the way one way. Reaching up. And rotate the thigh bone all the way the other way. And I noticed I started lifting my leg higher, but don't go too high too soon because we're going to do a couple different heights. And then come back to center and lift your leg a little bit higher. Pull back on the ball of the foot. Check the tilt of the pelvis, the tilt of the rib cage. Breathing here. And rotate your thigh bone in one direction. And rotate your thigh bone in the other direction. Sometimes less is more. Come back to center and lift that leg a little bit higher. Reaching up, ribs relax down, tailbone tilts down. And rotate the thigh bone in one direction. Ankle stays right over the hip. And rotate the thigh bone in the other direction. Can the leg straighten a tiny bit more without force? All right, and then release that foot. Now we're going to do some more stuff with this right leg. So wrap the strap around the back of your left thigh. Cross your right ankle over your right knee. Flex that ankle. Come to the heel of your left foot. And I think last week we just lifted up and down, but today we're going to lift up and stay at heights. So just barely lift your foot up off the floor and try to keep thinking of your tailbone pushing away from you. And you can try to allow that right knee to open, front ribs soften down. I still have a habit, it's subtle, but I still kind of push my ribs up into my hands. So if that's you, relax your ribs down a little bit. And then lift your foot a tiny bit higher. Breathing here. And for the first three, you're going to try to keep your pelvis in neutral. And then on the fourth one, we'll flatten our back and we'll lift our buttocks up. All right, bring your thighs in as close as you can without lifting your tailbone up, without flattening your lower back. And then go ahead and let your pelvis tuck under a little bit slowly as you bring your legs in closer. And relax, clenching around the buttocks muscles, all the way around the thighs. All right, and then lower that left foot down, uncross your right leg, extend your left leg long. It's like we're going to do a tree pose on our back, but we're going to do various heights. So you're actually going to start with your foot, your right ankle flex, but down closer to your ankle with your right leg bent and your knee dropping open to the side. At any time that you want extra support, use a towel or a pillow or whatever you have underneath that thigh. You can always slide it out more or less, so don't hesitate to use support. And then from here, let's reach our arms into the air, turn the palms of our hands to face behind us, tap our pinky fingers together, and open our thumbs out to the floor. And bring it in, and reach out, and bring it in, and reach out, and bring it in, and reach out, and then bring it in, and let's switch the leg. So slide the foot up so it's more mid-lower leg, mid-shank, that's your lower leg, and feel free to adjust anything that you may or may not have under that thigh. Try to feel both hips on the floor evenly, and then bring your hands back in the air, palms face behind you so pinky fingers touch. Open your arms up, but this time pause with your thumbs facing down, and slowly go up and down by your sides with our classic angel arms. Small bend in the elbows, watch the ribs, keep them relaxed down and back. If it's not comfortable for your shoulders for any reason to keep this rotation, then just turn the palms of your hands to face flat towards the ceiling. And one more like that. And then let your arms come down and slide your foot up so it's more in line with your knee. And then feel free to adjust if you have a prop, or you can just let your knee drop open. Flex your right ankle with your hands by your sides, thumbs pointing up. Take your arms up and overhead any amount, maybe thumbs tap down, and bring them back down. And reach up and over and tap back down. Notice as you go overhead, if your hands start to turn, try to keep them facing each other. And hands come back down and then go up and over. Relax that right thigh and hands come back down. And then from there, slide that right foot up kind of as high as you can go. If you can get above your knee, get it above your knee. Feel free to use support or don't. Flex your right ankle, let that thigh drop open. Try to relax any clenching in the buttocks. Interlace your right pinky finger on the bottom. Press up towards the ceiling. Really feel from the tips of your fingers, down your fingers, the palms of your hands. And then let's draw big circles with our thumbs. And how about 2 circles in each direction? And then just pause another moment, spread your thumbs out, press out, and check in with that right hip. Is there anything that can relax a little bit more? And then release your fingers, lift your right knee up, bend both knees, walk your feet nice and wide, and then let both of your knees go over to the right and then over to the left. And if there's any discomfort in your knees, just slide your feet a little farther away from you, but do try to keep your feet wide so the feet stay pretty wide apart from each other. And you're rolling from the inner and outer edge of one foot to the inner and outer edge of the other foot at your own pace. If you tend to fall one direction or the other, try to slow it down a little bit. All right, next time you go to the left with your legs, stay there and check the angle of your right leg. Can you walk your right foot back a little bit so the knee is more in line with your outer top ASIS bone? And then really relax, clenching all around your buttocks muscles, your thighs, front ribs soften down. The muscles that we're pulling on right now do have a tendency to want to pull those ribs up a little bit or forward a little bit. All right, and then lift your legs up, walk your feet in, and grab your strap and wrap it around the ball of your left foot. Extend your right leg long, lower your left foot down so it's hovering somewhere a foot or so over your bottom foot. Pull back on the ball of the foot. Relax, clenching all around the thigh. And then rotate your thigh bone all the way one way. And rotate your thigh bone the other way. And you'll just notice interesting things over time, but I notice at this lower height, when I internally rotate, I have muscles that grab more than when I'm up higher. So you'll just start noticing things in your body, and it'll become really clear how important working all those different angles are. All right, lift your leg about a foot higher and hold center, ankle right over the outer left hip. And rotate the thigh bone one way. And hopefully some of the things we do, you're just like, oh, that feels good for this part of my body. And rotate your thigh bone the other way. And hold and try to relax anything possible. And then lift your leg a little higher, still not as high as we'll go. Tailbone tilts down, ribs soften down. And rotate your thigh bone one way. And rotate your thigh bone the other way. And then maybe the leg comes up a little bit higher. And rotate one way. Sometimes less is more, sometimes more than we think it is. And rotate the other way. Yeah, my hip definitely likes the lower variations of that one. Okay, release the strap, bend your right knee, wrap the strap around the back of your right thigh, cross your left ankle over, flex your ankle, come to the heel of your right foot. For the first 3, we're trying to keep our tailbone down. Just barely lift your right foot up off the floor. Feel like your hips are centered. Check the rib thrust. Left thigh opening away from you any amount. And lift the foot a little bit higher. And lift as close in as you can without your tailbone coming up. Breath is flowing. And then go ahead and slowly let your tailbone come up a little bit, your waist come down a little bit. All right, and then let that foot come down, uncross your left ankle, tree pose with the left leg, right leg is long, left leg comes into a tree pose, but closer to your right ankle. You can use a prop underneath your thigh if you would like. Let it be supported, let it release and let go. Hands in the air, pinky fingers tap, thumbs open. And pinky fingers tap and thumbs open. A couple more times like that. All right, slide that foot up so you're more mid-lower leg. Feel free to adjust any prop under your left leg. Palms face behind you, thumbs open to the floor. Keep this rotation or turn your palms flat. And angel arms up and down. Reach out through the upper back, reaching out through the chest muscles. Check in, are you clenching your hip because you're focusing on your arms? And then next time your arms come down, slide your foot up a little higher so it's about in line with your knee. And palms face each other and go up and overhead and back down. And up and over, palms face each other and back down. How about a couple more times like that? All right, next time your hands come down, slide that foot up as high as it will go. Support the leg as much as you'd like to. Interlace your left pinky finger on the bottom, press up towards the ceiling. Just take a moment to feel from your wrist all across the palms of your hands out to the tips of your fingers, and then a couple circles in one direction with your thumbs. Relax around your left hip and thigh, and a couple circles in the other direction. And then keep pressing up, tilting the palms of the hands towards the ceiling, spreading the thumbs, and then tune in to that left hip. Is there anything deep in your hip, buttocks, muscles, groin area that can release and relax a tiny bit more? And maybe the really tight area won't relax, but maybe something around it will. All right, release your hands, lift that left knee up, walk your feet wide, and then we'll let our knees go over to the left and knees go over to the right. Take your time and go side to side. All right, next time your legs go over to the right, stay there. Maybe scoot your left knee back so it's more in line with your ASIS bone on the top front of your pelvis. Unclench your buttocks muscles. All right, bring your legs up, extend your legs long. Walk your legs over to the right, but today don't cross your ankles, just walk them close together. Reach your arms overhead. You don't have to bring them to the floor. You'll probably actually want to lift them a little bit off the floor, but everything's going over to the right. And then from here, just reach long through your fingers and point and flex your ankles. Point and flex. And now the wrist. Flex and extend. So your arms might have to come a little higher. Flex and extend. All right, back to center. Walk your arms and legs over to the left. Ankles come close together. Upper body tilting over. Right side of the body relaxes down. Reach long through your arms and point and flex your ankles. And point and flex your ankles. Hold the flexion, arms up. Flex your wrist and extend. And flex your wrist and extend. And then come back to center with your arms and legs. Bend your knees. You can roll to one side or rock yourself up. Come around and tuck your toes under. You can just stay right here and back your hips up for as much as it feels good to stretch the bottom of your feet. You can also roll off and come more onto the balls of the feet and come back towards the tips of the toes. So just trying to get a little bit more bend in your feet. Thumbs spread out, elbow pits wrap forward no matter where you are. And then let's bring our buttocks down and our legs in front of us and ground your feet. And then we're going to try to tuck and untuck our pelvis here, but it's not a spinal movement. My spine's not going back and forward because sometimes that's deceiving. We can move our spine forward and back, but our pelvis doesn't actually move very much. So can you keep your spine mostly upright and try to tuck and untuck your pelvis? When you untuck, you're just relaxing back. When you tuck, you feel like your thigh bones are pulling into your pelvis. So it's not a huge movement, especially when your spine's not going back and forth, but you're just trying to see, can I get any movement here? And if not, sit your hips on something higher, a little stool, a block. And of course, grounding through your feet, put some of the work in your feet. So we're just going forward and back with our pelvis here. Arms and shoulders stay relaxed. And then next time your pelvis comes up right, just feel that's where we want to be when we're sitting, but you might have to let it tuck under to bring your hands behind you. Spread your thumbs out away from each other, bend your elbows, hug them in, but then go back to pulling your thigh bones in, untucking, but letting your ribs relax down. And depending on how it feels on your chest, you can always walk your hands back further, spread your thumbs out, try to press equally through the palms of the hands. As you breathe here, notice if your thighs are collapsing in or out, center them. And then press up and roll off your fingers. And then from there, we are gonna have a seat. Now, if you'd like to sit up on something, I'm gonna sit up on a block. And then we'll cross our right ankle in front of our left ankle. Now, if it's very easy for your legs to flop open and your feet to turn, then for you, maybe start working more with a neutral ankle. So you're on the outer edges of your feet. Tilt your pelvis as upright as you can. And then from here, drop your right ear slowly to your right shoulder. Everything is slow here, especially since we're working with the neck, ribs relaxed down, chin back. Reach your left arm out to the side, palm up. Right ear keeps tipping over to right shoulder. Nice and slowly reach the arm across in front and open it back up. We'll do 2 of each moves. Reach the arm across in front, go slow. And then as you go back, notice, is there some angle that it's like, oh, I can really feel that in my neck. And if there's multiple of them, stay there and move your neck around a little bit. And you can go forward and back, you can turn. Just with your arm out, move your neck around a little bit. And then bring your ear back to your shoulder, take your arm out back to your side, and just slowly go up and down with your arm. Take your time, really go slow, especially feeling as you get higher next to your shoulder and neck muscles. And now the same thing, you're looking for an angle, and for me it's like right there. I can feel some tension right in my shoulder there. It could be in your neck, it could be in your chest or your back. Stay at whatever angle you'd like to and move your neck around a little bit there. It's like an experiment, like you're looking for the angles to gently dig into a little bit. And then bring your head up and your hand down and switch legs. Maybe neutral ankle, tilt your pelvis up right. Left ear slowly goes over to left shoulder. Right arm slowly out to the side. Reach it across and open back up. And reach it across. And you're feeling the whole time, you're like, where is it that I have an angle of tension? And if you need to go back and forth one more time to look, do that. But I'm going to stay right here, find your angle, and then start to move your head around a little bit. Very slow, very focused, checking in on the ribs, dropping down and back. That's really what keeps your neck safe. All right, and then bring your ear back to your shoulder, bring your arm out to your side, and now slowly go up and down. And go really slow so you can feel how the transition of your shoulder feels when your ear's dropping over to your side. And then start looking for an angle. Stay there and move your head around a little bit. And you might move your head around and find that, oh, just at this angle with my head still and my arm still is exactly where I need to be. And then bring your head up and bring your arm down, and you can come up from there and come onto your forearms and your knees. And from your forearms and your knees, reach your right hand over in front of your left hand. You can do palm face down, you can do pinky finger down, or you can flip your palm up. If you tend to thrust your ribs to the floor, curl your ribs up a little bit. You curled them up too much. If your pelvis tucked under, take a breath here. Keep rolling that thumb up towards the ceiling or open if you're doing one of those versions. And then let's switch and extend your opposite arm across. You can do palm face down, thumb up, or palm rotating up. Slight lift of the rib cage, but relax the lower belly. Breathing here. You just got to keep varying your movement all the time because, and I do try to remember, but like this in particular is like so good for this shoulder. And then there's so many wonderful things to do with the body that you just forget. So, but if you can remember something like this in particular that hits you just in the right spot, jot it down, write it down, try to remember so you can come back to it more. Okay, slide that arm in, flip both of your hands up, arms shoulder distance apart, walk your knees in, cross your right knee behind your left leg, split your lower legs apart. Try to keep your hands and elbows where they are and just push your hips back a little bit. Ribs up if you tend to thrust. You can always wiggle your hips a little side to side if needs be. All right, and then bring your torso forward, switch legs, put your left knee behind your right, split your lower legs. Try to start with your knees like the center of your body when you cross them over, and then push your hips back any amount. Ribs slightly up if they tend to thrust. Relax, 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 especially the lower belly. All right, and come up and uncross your legs. Stand up on your knees. Step your right foot forward and then heel toe, heel toe, heel toe it open out to the side. And from here, with your ankle right underneath your knee, reach your arms out, internally rotate your arm bones, hold, go nice and slow, especially if you have a knee issue. Bend into that right knee and press out. And then rotate your arm bones all the way the other way and bend into that knee. Make sure your other knee feels nice and comfortable and slowly press out. Now, how about from here coming into like a tree pose on your knee? So bring your heel in closer, come up onto your toes, and then we'll take our right arm up into the air, and then we'll tip over and do our left arm up and over, and then come back to center, steady with the feet, twist your belly button to the right, and twist your belly button to the left, and then come back to center and lower your arms down and slide that right foot out and walk it back up to the front of the mat. And then from here, bend your arms like cactus arms, press your pubic bone forward and try to just rotate your forearms. So keep your upper arms very still and turn your forearms as much as in one direction and the other direction as you can. Slow it down a little, and then you might want a block or two here because we're going to slide back for a hamstring stretch. So slide your hips back and extend your right leg long. Flex your ankle, try to straighten the leg a little more. And then from our hamstring stretch here, how about we twist our ankle one way, like turn the outer edge of your foot forward a little bit. Backing the hips up, twist the ankle the other way. Inner edge of the foot goes forward a little bit. And then slide that leg in, slide that knee back, extend your left leg forward, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, open warrior pose, ankle right under the knee, arms out, internal rotation, nice and slowly bend into that knee and slowly press out. Rotate your arm bones all the way the other way. Really go slow here so you can feel if you're doing anything that doesn't feel good. and then slowly press out. From there, relax your arms, walk your foot in, try to bring your heel in closer so you're up on your toes, and then take your left arm up and over, and then your right arm goes up and over, breathing, and then come back to center, palms up, steady the toes or the ball of the foot, turn your belly button to the left, and turn your belly button to the right, and then come back to center, slide that foot in, out, heel toe it back to the front of the mat, press your pubic bone forward, cactus arms, and rotate your forearms all the way one way and all the way the other way. Take your time, try to really just move at the forearm with the upper arm steady, and then maybe grab your block as you slide your hips back and flex your left ankle, nice long leg. And twist your ankle a little bit one way. Try to keep the thigh bone generally steady and move more just at the ankle. And twist the ankle a little bit the other way, breathing. And then bring it back to center, bend that knee, tuck your back toes under, and push down to step up. All right, with our feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, press down through your right hip, tuck the top of the left foot under, top of the foot stretch. Keep checking hips over heels, that you're not drifting forward with that right leg. Interlace your right pinky finger on the bottom, press away. You can skip the hands if you'd like to. As you press away, let's turn to the right and turn to the left. Come back to center, release your fingers, switch feet. Push down through the outer left hip, hug it in, top of the right foot tucks back. Keep checking on hips over heels, and then left pinky finger on the bottom, press away. Take your arms up into the air and side bend to the left and side bend to the right. And then come back to center, release your hands, bring your foot back. Whatever you're using for a calf stretch, a rolled up towel works great. Put the ball of your right foot up, walk it up as much as you'd like to, heel on the ground. With your outer edges of your feet straight, you can keep your left foot back a little bit, and we'll do heel raises with the left leg. Try to press very equally through the ball of the foot so your ankle doesn't twist. You could also step that left foot forward a little bit and do heel raises here. So the right leg stays steady, but you'll feel the change in the calf stretch by doing a heel raise with your opposite leg. All right, and let's switch. So ball of the left foot up, heel down. You can keep your foot back a little bit and lift and lower. Try to watch that ankle twist, press equally through the ball of the foot. Or you can stay there, or you can step the foot forward a little bit. Left heel stays grounded, and some heel raises there. All right, from there, step off of there, come to the top of the mat, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. We'll sit back into our chair pose. Actually, let's do our hands to the sides of our hips. Sit back, really go back with the buttocks. Watch the thighs collapsing in or out, or the knees really going forward. And press up. And sit back. And press up. And sit back, and then lean a little bit to your left hip, hug it in as you step your right leg back into a lunge. Try to land on the center of the ball of the foot, then push through the ball of the back foot, the heel of the front foot, to step back up into a chair pose. Load the weight into your right hip, but if it pushes out to the side, hug it in and steady that thigh bone as you step your left leg back, landing on the center of the ball of the foot. And then push off this heel of the front foot, the ball of the back foot, to step back up into a chair pose, checking feet straight, ankles hip distance. Hug the left hip in, Step the right leg back, nice and steady. Push off chair pose, hug the right hip in, step the left leg back, and push off, step back up. Fold over your legs with bent knees. If you need support, you can use your fingers. Lift your big toe up, keep your little toes down. Switch, big toe down, little toes up. You can always use your fingers for a little bit of an extra stretch. And then keep your right foot forward. Your hands can be down on the floor or a block. Step your left leg way back. Walk halfway around and parallel your feet. Back your weight up into your heels. Push through the backs of the legs to come up. Turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Bend the knee. Warrior two. Pinky fingers come in. Reach out wide. Pinky fingers come in. Reach out wide. Slowly straighten. Turn those toes in. Left toes go out. Bend into the knee. Warrior two. Pinky fingers come in. Reach out wide. Pinky fingers come in. Reach out wide. Slowly straighten. Turn those toes in. Turn your right toes out. Foot straight. Check the rotation of your right thigh bone. Two straight legs, triangle pose. If your torso goes forward, don't go down so much. Circle your arms up and open them. Circle your arms up and open them. Pull your torso up. Turn your right toes in, your left toes out, edge of the foot straight. Check the rotation of that thigh bone. Tip over into your triangle pose. Steady your weight in your heels. Gently press down through the balls of your feet. Circle your arms up and open. Circle your arms up and open. You might want to block for what we do next, but parallel your feet. Bend your knees. Sit back into a wide squat. And then from here, you're going to put the block over in front of your left hand, or excuse me, your right hand, and then you're going to reach your left hand over to the block. You can have another block or you can rest your fingers on the floor here, but essentially it's like you're doing that shoulder stretch, but you're in a squat. So you can turn your thumb up or the palm of your hand up as you sit your hips back. And then let's switch. Bring the block over to the other side. Now your opposite hand reaches across. You can do palm down, thumb up, or palm up as you sit your hips back. Your weight is mostly in your legs. Your hand is not bearing a lot of the weight. And then bring that hand down and walk back around to your right foot at the top of the mat and step up to the top of the mat and press up. And then from here, feel free to use a chair or a wall, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through your left hip, hug it in. You can do heel to ankle like we did last week. You can slide it up any amount. Try not to use your hands today. And tree pose, hands to heart center. Breathing here, squaring the hips, hugging the standing leg hip in, and lower that foot down. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through the right hip, hug it in. You can do heel to ankle, or you can slide the leg up any amount. And then from there, hands to heart center. Hug the right hip in a little if it tends to pop out. Breathing here. And lower that foot down. From the top of the mat, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Sit back into your chair pose. Fold over your legs. We're going to stretch our toes, so little toes down, big toes up. You can lift it up a little more for more stretch, or just if you need the support, you can just lift your toe up. Switch, big toe down, little toes up. And then keep your left foot forward, step your right leg way back, bring your hands inside your left foot and walk halfway around to the right. Parallel your feet. Back your weight up into your heels, push down through the backs of the legs, turn your right toes out 90 degrees, bend into the knee, and reverse warrior, and side angle pose, and reverse warrior, and side angle. And reverse warrior, and side angle. And this time we hold, reverse warrior. Press long through the back leg, inner right thigh opening. Lengthen up through the side of the waist. Hold side angle. Hand or elbow rest on the knee. Try not to sink into your shoulder. Reach your top arm up or up and overhead. As your right thigh opens, your belly button turns open. Breathing here, can you feel the weight in your heels, but gently use the fronts of your feet? And then pull yourself up. Turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out, bend into the knee, reverse warrior, and side angle. And reverse warrior, and side angle. And reverse warrior, and side angle, and reverse warrior. Of course, you always want to check the position of your feet first. Then you work your way up. How are my ankles? Where are my knees? Is my back leg working long? As my front knee bends, extend up. And then side angle. Elbow, try not to sink in. Extend that arm long. Can you feel the weight in the heels, but gently use the fronts of the feet? Breathing here. And pull yourself up. Turn your feet parallel. Now you have options. Option one, if your spine rounds a lot when you go down to the floor, is work that same bent knee squat we did. Otherwise, two straight legs, wherever your block is, put it over to the left and reach your right hand across. You can bring your hand to the floor if it reaches, but if your spine's doing one of these, put a bend in your knees. You can do palm face down, thumb up, or palm face up. Breathing here. And then switch. Palm face down, thumb up or hand up. Most of the weight is in your legs. Keep grounding down from your thigh bones to your heels or sitting back in your hips. Relax the belly so the tailbone can tilt up a little bit more. Good. Bring that hand back. Walk back around to your left foot. Tuck your toes under. Step up. Press up. Okay. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Feel free to be at a wall. Push down through your left hip. Come into the tree pose of your choice. And then from here, you can stay here. You can reach your arms into the air. You can do a little side bend, blowing in the wind. How about a little twist to one side and a little twist to the other side? And there you go. If you got it and stayed longer, good for you. All right, but either way, doesn't matter. That's the fun of it. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Push down through the right hip. Come into your tree pose. You can keep your hands at heart center. You can reach your arms up. Part of it is keeping the focus, a little bit of focus on your legs, even as you start to move the arms. A little side bend sway. A little twist. And then arms come down and foot comes down. And from here, the top of the mat, sit back, fold down, spread your thumbs out, wrap your elbow pits, step your right leg back to a plank, followed by your left leg. Lift your hips up and back, down dog, wrap your elbows in, check the position of your feet, press back through your thigh bones, and then lower your knees down softly. Stand up on your knees, extend your right leg out to the right. If it's okay, roll your heel up towards the ceiling, tuck your left toes under. You can stay right here in this upward position, or you can sit back toward your left heel. Wherever you are, up or sitting back, take your left arm up and over and side bend towards your right leg. Keep flexing your ankle. and breathing. And by the way, you don't have to sit all the way back. You can sit a little back. If you're sitting back, come on up, slide that leg in. From there, step your right foot forward, tuck your back toes under, push down to step up. Sit back into your chair pose, fold down, step your left foot back first to a plank pose, followed by your right leg. Lift your hips up and back, elbow pits wrap in, thigh bones move back, lower belly relaxes. But if you tend to thrust, lift your ribs up. If you tend to go the other way, try to almost let your ribs relax down a little bit in this particular position. And then lower your knees down, stand up on your knees, extend your left leg. You can stay upright the whole time and just do this, which is wonderful and it feels great. You can also just sit back anywhere from a little bit to a lot and go over, flexing your ankle and breathing. And then bring that arm down and slide that leg in. And from here, sit on your buttocks with your hands behind you. Scoot your feet as far away from you as needs be to maybe cross your right ankle over your left knee. From there, you can walk your foot in closer depending on how it feels. You can walk your hands in closer. Spread your thumbs out, press equally through the palms. Try to feel like there's equal weight on your hips, like you might have to untwist yourself so it looks like your shoulders are more in line with your hips. You can go in closer, you can walk your hands in closer, breathing. And then walk your foot out, uncross, switch legs, flex your ankle, center your hips and your torso. Maybe your foot walks in closer, maybe your hands walk in closer, maybe they walk out because it feels better. Listen to your body, listen to maybe one inner thigh or one outer hip or whatever is talking to you. All right, from there, walk your foot out, uncross your ankle, roll off your fingers nice and slowly. You can actually bring them so the back of your hands come down and stretch out your wrist a little bit. And then you have choices. You can sit on a block or not to get your hips a little higher. But choice one is to wrap your right leg around, putting your heel underneath and extend your left leg long. Choice two, if this doesn't work for your knee, is to just do like a seated tree pose with your ankle flex. So either one of those. And then you can stay right where you are and just work on sitting up, or you can do one of those chest stretches where you bring your hands behind you and bend your elbows and hug them in and press equally through the palms of the hands. And if you're doing this version that I am, you could gently push your shin down to the floor, depending on how it feels for you. And roll off your fingers, switch legs. So a tree sit or a thigh behind, ankle under the knee or ankle under the hip. Maybe lean back, maybe not, maybe just sit up tall here. You can bend your elbows more, press more through the palms of your hands. Releasing, letting go, relaxing, clenching all around the top of the thigh. And then press up and slide that leg out. Bring the soles of your feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Ribs relax down. Sitting up tall comes from the pelvis. Twist the belly button to the right. And twist the belly button to the left. Let's do that again. Twist the belly button to the right. Twist the belly button to the left. Keep working on the subtle tilt of the pelvis forward, the subtle tilt of the ribs back, but relax the belly. And then unwind and rotate forward any amount. Gently press the soles of the feet together. And then come on up and stretch. If you want to stay here, you can stay here or stretch your legs wide. Work with flexed ankles. Really try to get the pelvis upright first. And you might just sit with your pelvis upright because, I mean, think about it. If you don't sit on the floor like this very often, this is enough load for your body. Going into something deep when you don't regularly sit like this on the floor is actually putting too much load on your tissues, and you might not feel it for years to come, but you have to base a lot of what we're doing off of what we're doing in our daily lives, which if you look at most of us, we should do lesser versions of everything. So let's be patient and kind with ourselves and humble, but of course you can fold forward a little bit too here. Notice if your feet really want to point or your knees really want to bend, and work more often, just working on the rotation of the pelvis, even doing this with your hips on something much higher. And if you sit here and you're just like, but this is no problem, then I challenge you with kindness to your body to sit like this for 30 minutes and see what happens and see how your body feels. Start out maybe 10, 5, 10, 15, 20. You can move a little bit. You can do a side bend. You can do a twist if you'd like to. And finish up wherever you are. Slide your legs in, flex your ankles. Try to sit up tall here. Maybe a little rotation forward from the pelvis. And you're ready for your final pose, Savasana. Do whatever you need to do to get comfortable and come on down to your back. Let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. You are worthy. Nature never questions our worthiness. It never asks that we provide our credentials or prove ourselves in order to receive the bounty of its offerings. Next time you find yourself questioning your worthiness or experiencing feelings of self-doubt, go outside to remind yourself that nature will always embrace you as you are. Choose to be gentler with yourself. Know that you deserve the good in your life. You are worthy of the joy, happiness, and peace you seek. Feel your breath moving you from within. If you're ready to move, any kind of reach or rock or roll or wiggle. And then when you're ready, roll over to one side. Take a breath there. Get into the habit of taking a full inhale and exhale all the way out on your side. And then at the end of that exhale, with a soft face, press yourself up. You can sit any way you'd like to, bringing our hands together at heart center in gratitude for this day. Namaste.